Next coach is Michigan State's Jonathan Smith. Smith is back for his second season with the Spartans, who have 9 starters returning this season.
Well, it is great to be here. Media days kind of signify kind of the start of the season as we get closer and closer. Still a lot of work to do in August and all, but it is a great time to get down here. I want to echo appreciation for Tony Petitti, the leadership of the Big Ten Conference, first class accommodations here in Las Vegas for these media days. And so really proud to be here representing Michigan State, part of the Big Ten Conference. Along with myself, we did bring 3 players to represent us down here, and they've done a phenomenal job since I've been at Michigan State, and I want to recognize them. Start with Jordan Hall, linebacker, been here for 3 years. You talk about influence in our locker room, does a great job on and off the field, had a solid fall for us, but I appreciate what he's done from January till now. Had a great spring practice, going to be a vital player for us this fall. Also a great student. Nick Marsh had a phenomenal true freshman season for us in the fall, but another guy that I recognize the work that he's done starting in January to this point, influence and leadership on the team, done really well in school. A lot of attention comes his way, and I think he handles that in a first-class manner, represents us in a great way. And Stanton Ramil, this game starts up front, had a really solid year for us on the offensive line in the fall. But again, another guy that continues to show leadership amongst our team, had a big-time spring ball, and expecting huge things out of him, holding up that core of the offensive line. So really proud of those 3 guys that we came down here with us. There's a lot of work been done. You know, headed into year 2, we learned a ton. In year 1, the conference, the place, the roster, I know there's fluidity. This college landscape can be fluid and all of that. We continue to learn, and I thought it was a really important, our retention that we were able to have with our roster and with our coaching staff to be able to grow and improve off of the first season. So excited about all coordinators coming back, schematics being similar to be able to grow and improve on that in year 2. Over 70 players on the roster will be with us again, and that was a vital part. The work that's been done this summer, especially headed by our strength staff, Mike McDonald and that group, there's been a ton of work on this summer, and those guys' bodies continue bigger, faster, stronger, more explosive percentages, leaps and bounds have taken place. And so there's been a lot of work from year 1 to year 2. And that's going to be vitally important because let's face it, Big Ten, my opinion, best conference in America, a gauntlet of 9 conference games against big-time opponents. We got to continue to be ready to work to challenge, and we accept that challenge of playing in the best conference in America with the atmospheres we play in, the road trips, the players, the coaches, the schemes. We're looking forward to that, wanting to be a part of such a big-time conference that way. And so with that, couldn't be more excited about this opportunity and challenge that's in front of us, and we're going to hit it head on. I love the progress we've made on and off the field, and I look forward to taking some of your questions.
Coach, 3rd row in the middle.
Coach Smith, you have a tremendous reputation as a developer of talent, but you've also demonstrated your ability to build relationships. I'm curious, everyone talks in the NIL era about money, but how much does your relationship skill building impact even more when money's the same?
Yeah, I think it's a big factor. Relationships showing a path as you get into a relationship that you're going to dive into the player, the person, the family, more than just beyond telling them how to get to 15 yards and break in or break out. This landscape, yes, becomes a little bit transactional, and we're very competitive in that environment, but I do describe it that is a piece of the pie as they're looking into decision-making in regards to what school they're going to. I think about the relationship side going into year 2 now, even relationships within our own state on the recruiting side, high school coaches. We've tried to make huge gains on that because that's a factor as well. It's still about a player that's developing in high school, and he has relations with his family and his coach, and we want to be heavily involved in all of that.
First row on your right side here.
Kenneth Berry, Touchdowns and Tangents. Coach, last year you talked about your roots, lineage from the Mountain West, and everything you learned from your own coaching tree. How do you balance urgency and patience, especially right now in this era, and how have you managed to balance that with the development of Aiden Childs?
Yeah. Well, I think we're always going to be urgent to improve and get better, and I think you got to be in a nonstop state of improvement. Understanding, I think it's not only about its patience, but it's poise and an understanding that some things he's got to go through some experiences to find out where we got to improve on. In particular to Aiden, I got a bunch of respect for him and credit for him because, yeah, he had some outstanding plays and some plays that were not good enough. And it's our job as coaches to make sure we're surrounding him and with the line of scrimmage and those other 10 guys on that offense, making sure we're putting him in the best positions to have success. I look at him statistically from the first half of the season to the second half. It was a whole lot better in the second half, so he was improving. And some of that I got for him because it wasn't always easy, right? Year one, new staff, new scheme, new school for him. All of that he was handling. The guy's a big-time teammate and competitor, and look forward to seeing him in year two.
Coach, first row on your far right.
Yeah, Jonathan, Jim Comparoni, SpartanMag.com. I'm just wondering which position group do you feel is going to be the most improved this season, and which players have come around at that position to give you that confidence in that position?
Right. Well, we're shooting to improve in all of them. In that, I think a couple areas we have to. It starts with the line of scrimmage offensively. In that offensive line, mentioned it. We want to create more competition in that room. We got 4 transfers that came in January that have had college snaps before, and so that room in particular, with the 4 additions to the competition, we've got some returning players at the offensive line, and then continue to take a step in their game. The other piece I do think about of the continuity of schematics. Right, this will be year 2 in the scheme for all of those guys with a big-time offensive line coach, Jim Mahalchek. I got full confidence in that group really taking a step.
Questions for Coach? All right, Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Our final coach today is Michigan's Sharon Moore, who enters his second full season as the head coach of the Wolverines and returns 13 starters from a team that beat Alabama in the ReliaQuest Bowl.
How we doing? Extremely excited to represent the University of Michigan here in Las Vegas at this great venue. The hospitality has been amazing, so really appreciate it. First, I'd like to thank Commissioner Petiti for all the work he's done for us as coaches and keeping us aligned. Special shout out to A.J. Eves and what he's done for us behind the scenes. Not enough credit goes for him and what he does to support us as coaches. Next, thank our athletic director, Ward Manuel. Been here, University of Michigan, 8 years. And the vision, the alignment, the things he's done for me personally, our program, our student athletes, and continues to do for me as the head coach in our program in this second year has been outstanding. Our coaches, our staff at the University of Michigan, so blessed to have you guys. Appreciate all the hard work you've done for us and you continue to do every single day. Last, would be remiss if I didn't thank the most important people in our program, our players. You guys know how much I care about you and love you. Thank you for all the hard work that you guys do, all the things that you do for our program, for the university, and continue to do for our program. Special shout out to the 3 young men that we brought here. First, starting off with returning captain Max Bredesen, fullback, utility, heartbeat of our football team, tone setter for our football team, continues to do that on and off the field for us. Next, Derek Moore, edge rusher, number 8, been an impact player since the day he stepped on campus, continues to be a leader on and off the field. And then lastly, Ernest Hausman, linebacker, number 15. Talk about a selfless, disciplined young man that exemplifies everything we talk about when we talk about team over me. I want to thank our players' families, our coaches' families. We're very blessed to have the support of people in our program to help us on a day-to-day basis to make sure that we're super successful, not only physically but mentally. Appreciate everything they've done for us. Roll by this theory don't let a speed bump become a roadblock. Last year we hit a couple speed bumps, but we didn't allow those to become roadblocks. We overcame a lot of adversity and had a successful end to the year, but really we're not living on that. We know that's done. We know that's past us, and our jobs now are to write a new story for what the University of Michigan and Team 146 is all about. You know, we're really thrilled to be in the phase we're at right now with our student athletes, ending our summer conditioning phase tomorrow morning. We fly tonight. Tomorrow morning we get there 6 a.m. We got a conditioning test with our football team. They're all going to pass it with flying colors, I know. And really excited for them and what they've done. They've done a tremendous job changing their bodies, building a true team this offseason. Like I said, team over me has been our theme. Everything we've done is for the team. In the world we live in now with NIL and revenue sharing and the transfer portal and recruiting, it's very easy to look at yourself and think about yourself, and not think about the team. And, I thought Bo said it the best, the team, the team, the team. We've really exemplified that in everything we've done this offseason. The work that our student athletes have put in with Justin Tress, our strength staff and his staff, and from a nutrition standpoint, Abigail O'Connor and her staff, and what they've done has been outstanding. The poundage has been the greatest, how much they've gained, but you talk about lean mass and fat mass they've lost has been outstanding, and really excited to see how put that to display on the football field here come next week. We're going to continue to push ourselves to reach the standard of who we are. When you come to University of Michigan, it's not just about being a great football player, it's about being a great person, great man, great athlete, great student. We push ourselves, we hold ourselves to a high standard when it comes to academics, and we'll continue to do that. And our student athletes have done that at an elite rate, not only in football, but in all sports. I get the chance to sit alongside some of my great colleagues like Dusty May and Kim Barzarico, Brandon Arado, Sean Barnett, just a couple of our head coaches in our program. It just talks about what the University of Michigan is all about, and super proud to be a part of this great university. We're in a new stage. Team 146 is excited and ready to go. We're geared up. Like I said, we got the conditioning test tomorrow. Next Wednesday, we kick off camp, and we're ready to put on a show. So excited to take any questions.
Questions for Coach Moore. First row here on your right.
Kenneth Berry, Touchdowns and Tangents. Coach, what are some of the hardest and most meaningful lessons you learned from last season going into this season, and how have you used that to hold a certain standard for the quarterback room going into this year?
Yeah, I think lessons is the right word. We talked about that as a team continually, that not losses but lessons. Take everything with a grain of salt, make sure you attack every moment, but really it's just stay in the moment. You can't worry about what happened yesterday, and tomorrow's not owed to you, so everything we do is what we can do to get better now. It's not just the quarterback room, it's every room. We're a team. It's not one person that wins or loses a game, it's a team. So for us, we've done a really good job of being a cohesive unit, and like I said, team over me, and gaining trust with each other and being arm in arm in this battle. So I think as a team, we're just going to be a better team this year.
Questions for Coach? All right, Coach. Thanks so much for your time. Oh, we got another one.
There.
Oh, first row. Here we go.
Good afternoon, Coach. AP Stidham of AP As We See It. Coach, you're going to be playing Oklahoma. Those two Blue Bloods have only met one time. What would that game mean for your team early in the season?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a game that's going to be fun. It's going to be our first away game for our team. So it's going to be a test to see where we are when we can overcome some adversity when we're not in a comfortable environment. So it's going to test us. It's going to test us, the willpower of who we are and what we're going to be. But it's going to be a lot because it's going to be the next game. So it'll, hopefully you win the first game and you can get that. That means you'd be 2-0, and that's really what it would mean for the team.
First row here on your right.
Hey, Coach. Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. Just wanted to get your thoughts on Bryce Underwood. Where do you see his development, and how do you see him being acclimated to the season coming up?
Yeah, I think he's grown every single day since he's been on campus. He's been with us since December. Continues to do everything he can to be, one, the best teammate he could be, two, to be the best student he could be, and then three, to be the best football player that he can be, and quarterback that he can be for our football team. And he does everything the right way. He makes sure that he attacks everything the best way. I literally just got off the phone with him, calling me, asking me what time he's got to be at the team meeting on Tuesday. So he wants to make sure he's on time to do everything right. So he's a great teammate, great kid, great young man. Jay and Beverly, his parents, have done an outstanding job raising him, but I could say that for all our student athletes at Michigan.
Back to the first row here.
Kingsbury, touchdowns and tangents. Coach, you have a tight end go first round, top 10. That's pretty incredible. How do you look at that receiver room, and how have they met the standards this offseason?
Yeah, I think one, in the retention of our good players, but two, in the recruitment of players like Donovan McCauley out of the transfer portal, who we think is going to be a great weapon for us. Andrew Marsh, a young guy who we think is going to be super dynamic. Jamar Browder, who was on campus, a big, tall, explosive, long receiver. And Jacob Washington in recruitment. But the retention of guys like Fred Moore and Samaj Morgan, Imarion Stewart, Channing Goodwin, Kendrick Bell, the list keeps going. Peyton O'Leary, guys that have played for us, made plays. They've done a really good job of changing the mentality of that room and making sure what the standard is supposed to look like and continue to raise it. They had a great example in a guy like Roman Wilson and Cornelius Johnson. So we feel really good about that room and continuing to work to make sure we take the standards to the next level.
In the back on your right side.
Hey, Coach. Bruce Marshall from Sports Byline and CBS. Quick question. Back to the quarterback room. You talked about Bryce a second ago, but Mikey Keene has been a pretty productive quarterback. We've seen a lot of him at Fresno and UCF before that. I know he was hurt a little bit in spring. Tell us about the room. Would you go to is Keene? How viable is that if you have to go to him? And also Chip Lindsey as your new offensive coordinator and what we might expect from him.
Yeah, I mean, overall the room is awesome. I love those guys in the room as young men. First of all, you talk about Mikey, who did a study about snaps in college football, and he leads the team with 2,029 snaps in college football. That's a lot of snaps in the game. So he's a guy that's done it, that's experienced it at a high level. And, bringing in Chip has been awesome. He's an outstanding human being, a phenomenal coach, a great leader of men, and the guys want to play for him. But from a knowledge standpoint, the things that he's going to, give our offense and already has given our offense, it's been outstanding. And, the things he's given me, he's a former head coach. He's done it. He's been through it. He's seen it. So to be in that position and to be able to lean on somebody that's been in my position before in college football has been huge for me.
Coach Moore, thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it. Go Blue.